Introduction to public speaking. In this class, we're going to be looking at what public speaking is, what it is not, the rules that guide public speaking, and the benefits of public speaking. But first of all, let's look at what public speaking is not. Public speaking is not conversation. Public speaking is not talking. Public speaking is not passing information. What then is public speaking? Public speaking is getting your audience to react to your words, emotions, and general characteristics when delivering a message. In as much as talking and passing information is key when delivering a public speech, it is not what makes your speech a public speech. What then makes your speech a public speech? It is the fact that you have an audience who are reacting to your words. And that is why, if you want to get the right reaction from your audience, you must portray the right emotions and use the right words. There are different forms of public speaking. Most of the times we assume that it is when we stand before an audience in the conference to teach. That is when we are actually delivering a public speech. That's not it. If you go for an interview and the interviewer is questioning you, you are actually delivering a public speech. Your response to that question, your emotions when you are giving that answer, are elements of public speaking. And that is why, if you want to be a successful public speaker, you must master the art of using the right words and displaying the right emotions when passing your information, when passing the information. That is why I would say practicing the art of public speaking will help you speak confidently anywhere and anytime. Like I said earlier, there are different forms of public speaking. We have speaking during an interview, speaking in public events, speaking during conference calls and meetings, be it webinar or live conferences, speaking in a workshop, presenting a product, pitching an idea. These forms of public speaking have different formats in delivery. For instance, the format you use when pitching an idea differs from the format you use when speaking during an interview. Of course, during an interview, there is an interviewer who is asking you questions and expects you to deliver answers confidently. However, when pitching an idea, your aim is to persuade people to invest into that idea or buy your product, as the case may be. So, this form of delivery differs. The method of delivering this speech differs. So that is why you have to master the art of speaking in context. You have to master the art of speaking in context. You have to know that, okay, this situation differs, so I should use a particular method that will work in this particular situation. What's the purpose of public speaking? Why do people speak in public? Like I said earlier, people speak to persuade. When you want to pitch your idea, you are actually persuading people to buy into that idea. When you are speaking in public, you are indirectly influencing people to become what you want them to be through your message. So people speak to persuade, people speak to influence, people speak to motivate, people speak to entertain, people speak to inform. And that is why you have to be mindful of the message you are passing to your audience. That is why you have to ensure that the message you are passing to your audience has no element of error in it. Why should you master public speaking? If you want to succeed in your business, if you want to succeed in your relationship, then you should master the art of public speaking. Because the key to succeeding in life is actually relationship building. So, to build the right relationship in your business, to build the right relationship for your personal life, you have to master the art of public speaking. Public speaking helps you to communicate effectively, and it helps improve your social capital. As a business person, if you are a good public speaker, you are indirectly a good marketer because you know how to use words, you know how to persuade people, you know how to convince people to buy into an idea. These are more at the benefit of public speaking. Public speaking helps enhance your relationship and it helps in diplomatic purpose too. Let's say you've been appointed as an ambassador to represent your country in another country. Knowing how to use words and knowing how to express the right emotion at every context would help you do more. So, if you want to succeed in influencing, persuading, motivating, informing, and entertaining people, you have to master the art of communicating clearly, using the right words, and using the right emotion. Earlier, I said that you have to be mindful of the message you are passing to your audience because your message has the capacity to influence people's action. And that is why we're going to be looking at the rules that guide public speaking. Initially, these rules were propounded by Rich Toto. He said a public speech must have these things: the elements of ethic, logical elements, and pathos. So, ethos, logos, and pathos, they are the rules of public speaking. The first rule said the message must be ethical, it must be credible and truthful. You know that your words, your message, have the capacity of influencing people to carry out an action. So, ensure that you pass a credible message. Don't pass a message that will influence your audience to protest for the wrong cause. So you know that these things could actually make your audience do the wrong thing, do the things they are not supposed to do. And teaching your audience the wrong message would take generations to correct. For instance, let's say a clergyman who interprets the scripture in the wrong way. That clergyman would actually influence the behavior of the people because the people actually believe in him and his message influences them in return. That's why, as a public speaker, you do not deliver a speech that is not credible. Let's say you are delivering a speech on corruption. You shouldn't give facts that are not credible. You shouldn't give facts out of the fact that, oh, you feel this is it. No. That is why, as a public speaker, you should always research those ideas, those information you want to pass to your audience to check its credibility. We are going to be looking at that in the coming series. Secondly, your message must be logical, it must be reasonable. The message you're passing to your audience must be reasonable. Don't teach for teaching's sake. Ensure that what you are teaching is worth it. Then we have the pathos. This says that the message you are passing must appeal to your listeners' emotions. Because what that does is that it influences them to do things. When you're speaking, you're not just talking, you are influencing them to react. And that is why, if you want the right reaction from people as a public speaker, you must first of all express the right emotion. what are the components of public speaking? There are five components. We have the speaker, we have the message, we have the medium, we have the audience, and we have the feedback. If you want to be a successful public speaker, you have to work on yourself first of all. You have to see yourself as good enough to deliver a message. And if you want to get the right reaction from your audience, you have to first of all express that emotion that will trigger the right reaction. Remember, one of the rules of public speaking is pathos, the ability of your words to appeal to people's emotion. So when using the message, you yourself has to be emotionally ready for it. That is why I would strongly recommend that a public speaker should smile when delivering a message. Because when you smile, you're actually lessening the tension in the gathering, and in return, people will smile at you. When you say something, you should laugh. In return, people would laugh. But when you frown when delivering a message, the people themselves won't see the need to smile. Of course, your emotions, the emotions you should express, should be in line with what you want to achieve. So the first rule is this: if you want to have an excited audience, you yourself should be excited. If you want to have a sober audience, you yourself should be sober. That is why your tone when delivering a message matters. Now, the message itself, we've seen the rules that guide public speaking: ethos, pathos, and logos. So the message you are delivering must follow these three rules. It must be credible, it must be truthful, it must be logical, and it must appeal to your audience emotion. The medium you are using, thank God we have a technological instrument now, unlike in the past where people have to deliver a speech without using a megaphone or any means of talking. So when there is an obstruction in the medium, there will be a distortion of message. So ensure that what you are using to pass your message is audible and clear enough to give the right message to your audience. Then we have the audience, the people listening to you. Whatever it is that you want to get from your audience comes from you, like I said earlier. So their reaction, which is the feedback, is determined by you. And that is why, as a public speaker, when talking, always watch your audience reaction. Let's say you are talking and all of them started whispering, or somebody stood up to go out. Most of these reactions might be because of what you said. What should you do immediately? Immediately just change what you say, or just laugh about it. So that is why, as a public speaker, the next words you're going to say actually depends on your audience. Let's say you're actually saying the truth and the audience got pissed off by the fact that you're saying the truth. You might just slide it in. Oh, I know this doesn't go well with you, but this is the truth. And before you know, everybody would laugh, and they might even clap. And the audience, the things in the audience would be less lessened. So you are the CEO of that particular speech you are delivering. You are the one that determines the success of your speech. when delivering it in the public. Whatever emotion you want to get from your audience, display it. Whatever reaction you want to get from your audience, express it first, and you will see that your speech is successful. Thank you for coming thus far.